Rachel Fizet is a criminal defense attorney based in Los Angeles. She has been closely following this case since the beginning with us. Rachel, as always, good to see you. I want to talk about the timing of this wrongful death lawsuit. It's being filed before an investigation is complete. So really, when you look at this case, it's an entirety. There's a lot we still don't know. Even the attorneys for the Hutchins family is saying, we don't know a lot of this. So does this complicate things for prosecutors as they move forward?
I don't think it complicates things at this moment for prosecutors as they move forward. I think it complicates things for Alec Baldwin as they move forward, because what is happening now is they are trying to get the suit started, which means they will try to go through a discovery process, which is very hard to do when people are under criminal investigation. That's when people start taking the Fifth Amendment, and things are complicated because all of that discovery goes back to the prosecutors. Basically, the civil case starts to help the criminal case.
But isn't he already under investigation? Hasn't that already started?
Oh, he's definitely under investigation. This is just like another one coming at him because the criminal investigators are doing their part. And as you can see, the civil attorneys are doing everything in their power to do a thorough investigation as well, including this reenactment and all of the emails and other correspondence that they're showing. So all this is basically bolstering kind of the investigation as a whole. And the civil attorneys really, I mean, they will want him prosecuted because that helps their case. So in any way possible that they can, they will help the criminal investigators.
But without having all of the evidence and the details of what happened that day, a lot of it is hearsay. None of it is fact yet, according to investigators. How can they put together that reenactment? How accurate can it be?
You know, we don't know, right? So I think they have done a thorough investigation from the civil side. It looks like they have witnesses that have come forward, and that's how they are doing the reenactment. This reenactment sends a very strong message to Alec Baldwin and the producers named and the producers of Rust that they are being thorough, they are dotting their I's, they are crossing their T's, and they are coming at them and sending very powerful messages.
Well, let me talk to you about the strategy from the Baldwin team, at least as it appears on the surface. I want to pull up this statement released to Variety and just a portion of what Alec Baldwin's team said, and it really points to him shifting blame to others involved. It said actors should be able to rely on armorers and prop department professionals, as well as assistant directors, rather than deciding on their own when a gun is safe to use. So is that a strong legal defense at this point?
This has been Alec Baldwin's defense throughout, which is to point fingers at someone else. He's also pointed fingers at Hutchins herself. So I think this defense would be stronger if he weren't a producer on the set, if it wasn't his production company that was making the movie. Because if he were just an actor and he had no other duty here, I think that is fairly strong. But as a higher up in this production, it still seems to create a full loop back to whoever is in charge of the set and the safety protocols. So I think that's what he's going with, but we'll see how that develops through time.
Rachel, people at home may be wondering, in a wrongful death lawsuit, you don't have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. What does happen in the process going forward with a case like this?
So they go through to determine if negligence is the cause of death. And the difference between the civil suit and the criminal suit really in this case is the standard of proof. So in a civil suit, the standard is more likely than not. That's anything over 50%. You can think of it as it was 51% likely that the negligence on the set caused the death. And in a criminal case on the exact same facts, it's basically the exact same case, you have to say it's beyond a reasonable doubt. And that is 99%, 98%. It's beyond something that would be reasonable that it wasn't related to negligence. So that's why the criminal suit and the civil suit are basically both seeking the exact same facts, but it's easier to prove a civil suit than a criminal suit.
And it could take several years to do so. Rachel Fizet, as always, appreciate your insight. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.